Jammu Kashmir election is very different this year. One of the important aspects that people are noticing is that while there is a lot of talk about change, etc., in one way people are going back to same agenda which was there maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years back. And there are a lot of people who support mindset which wants to bring back Article 370, a mindset which wants to bring back full statehood to Kashmir, and that is also being done in a way which is not very normal. They want to ask in a tone which is very aggressive. That is what is being seen by people as appealing. Why is that happening?
It's happening because if you see what happens in Kashmir is like people here are reacting to the radicalization which has happened in India. So there is a counter radicalization in that. I'm talking about the radicalization of thought, not necessarily the radicalization of it is being seen as the radicalization of Islam and all that. So what is happening is we saw in last 10 years there was an absolute pressure on the people of Kashmir. Like people have been in jails, people without on PSAs, there is no trial and all that. And the cases which are made against them, they don't stand in the court of the law, despite that people are in jails. And they put former chief ministers like Umar Abdullah was detained, Farooq Abdullah was detained, Mehbooba Mufti was detained, who are all seen as an extension of the Indian state in Kashmir. People see them like that. So what is happening is that people here, they are finding the narratives which are coming, which they think which are soft separatists, and which they think which resonate with the issues they see themselves. So they are aligned to those forces, and we saw that happening in the parliamentary elections when Engineer Rashid, despite being in jail, despite not campaigning the way the other political parties like National Conference, People's Democratic Party did, won by a thumping majority, 2.5 lakh votes. And it was possible because youth came out and they supported him, and youth came out in huge numbers and they supported him. It was their reaction to the abrogation of Article 370 and the constant crackdown on the people of Kashmir for the last 5 years.
Okay, so it is not just the statehood, because Jammu Kashmir as a union territory, the government has already promised that statehood will be restored, and many of the parties are stressing it in their election manifesto also. So is there any difference between the parties in Kashmir on the statehood issue?
I think most of the people in Kashmir, this is not an issue with them. It's an issue raised by the parties which are close to the BJP themselves, like Apni Party, People's Conference. They are raising this issue because they think this is something practical which will be done. Statehood would be restored, so they will claim that they brought it back. But if you see, if you talk to anyone in Kashmir, it doesn't matter to them whether it's a state or a union territory. How does it make a difference to them? It doesn't make any difference to them, because the legislators which are there, even when we had a state here, the legislators, they used to be the extension of the federal government. So they would not represent the aspirations of the people of Kashmir. So it doesn't matter to them, statehood. Yes, Article 370, it does. Article 335A, it does. And when someone talks about restoration of Article 370, Article 35A, like National Conference does, so it would resonate with them. And that was one of the reasons that parties like National Conference had to go back to their previous manifestos. They went back to their roots, and they again started, they brought the autonomy, talking about the restoration of autonomy back, because otherwise it was already done in 1996. They passed it in the assembly and it got rejected, and they know nothing is going to happen on that. Despite that, they brought it back, because what sells in Kashmir is the soft separatism or separatism.
In fact, that is what I want to ask you. When you speak to the political leaders in private, they say that Article 370 it is unlikely to come back now. But in the election rallies, everybody is talking about restoration of Article 370. That is why it is very difficult for people in Tamil Nadu or South India to understand why this is happening.
This is happening because, if you see most of the mainstream parties, which Delhi may look at them as separatists, soft separatists, they aren't. They are very pro-India. They are wedded to the Indian Union. All the political parties here, like National Conference, People's Democratic Party, Engineer Rashid, Sajjad Loan, Altaf Bukhari, they are all wedded to the Indian Union. So, but they know that the people at the grassroots level are not. They don't see them. They are not comfortable with this Article 370 going, Article 35A going. They are not happy with that. And it's what you talked about statehood. What Kashmiris see that is an utter humiliation, like of not of them but of the people like Umar Abdullah, Mehbooba Mufti, who Farooq Abdullah, who all their lives have battled for the Indian state in Kashmir. And when they saw them, the central government putting them in jails or detaining them, they could see that these people got punished for being their man in Kashmir, and they were very happy with that for the process that they were.
But Mehbooba Mufti, Omar Abdullah, Sajad Lone, they were all given a tough lesson in the Lok Sabha elections. They were, they got really shocking results.
Yeah, but that was not because of the central government's. If you see, it was not that the BJP defeated them or something. It was someone who was talking about separatism, soft separatism. He defeated them. So that is the message the people of Kashmir sent through the parliamentary polls.
Engineer Rashid's party, the party itself is not registered. They are all, fighting as independent candidates. Still, the kind of impact that he is making. So, which means what he is taking away the PDP votes, or is he taking away the Jamaat votes? Whose votes are he taking away?
He is taking away PDP votes, Jamaat votes, but simultaneously he is also taking away the new voters, the people who didn't vote in the past. So, what is happening? If you see his rallies, most of his rallies, you'll see a lot of youngsters who haven't voted at all, or who voted for the first time in the parliamentary elections. So that is some sort of like the upward swing he's seeing because of that thing. That is the factor that is happening.
Okay. Before the assembly election coalition was announced, Omar Abdullah was under a lot of pressure to have an alliance with the Congress, and at the same time, Engineer Rashid and his party, without their leader, in the field, etc., they already started campaigning and said, "Oh, we are going to win. We are going to defeat these people again." How come, established party like National Conference is, feeling so much pressure?
It's feeling the pressure because it has ruled the state. Engineer Rashid hasn't ruled the state as yet, and the people have seen that whoever has ruled the state, they have mostly sided with the central government. So there is a cross section of people here who say, we give them the chance, we give NC the chance, we give PDP the chance. Let's also give Engineer Rashid or a new player a chance. Maybe they may do what the others didn't do.
Final question is about this multi-cornered contest. I mean, now there are so many people. There is one side there is National Congress and National Conference and Congress in alliance. On the other side, there are multiple parties who are fighting separately or in small coalition, etc. How do you look at this? What kind of impact will this make?
It's basically done to divide the Kashmiri vote. Like if you see, there is not a single other party in Jammu region, the Hindu majority region. You will see there is only BJP and Congress. Either the people will vote for BJP or they will vote for Kashmir. So there is the emergence of these parties at the behest of the central government. Like Engineer Rashid got a bail to do the campaigning. He didn't get a bail to do the campaigning in the parliamentary polls. But because they saw the impact he had, so he has got the bail to do that. So that the votes are divided, so that there isn't a single largest party here which would come to power with a thumping majority. So they want to divide that Muslim vote, the vote of Kashmir. So that's why there is the emergence of these players like People's Conference, Apni Party. So everybody will get a 1 seat, 2 seat. Jamaat, so Jamaat has all of a sudden come into play, although Jamaat is banned organization. So, but there are like former Jamaatis who are contesting. And all these parties are contesting because BJP knows that their fate is going to be very bad in this election, but they still want to emerge as a single largest party so that they can send the message across the country that we are, after Article 370, we are the single largest party in Jammu and Kashmir, which is also going to be difficult for them. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but otherwise, like the votes are being fragmented in Kashmir, which is done at the behest of New Delhi.